When enough is enough. The moment you should leave a toxic relationship. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night asking the same question over and over again? Should I stay or should I leave? Maybe you've given them another chance, and another, and another. Maybe you've told yourself they will change. Maybe you've stayed because you love him. Maybe you've stayed because you are afraid of starting over. Or maybe you've stayed because you've invested years of your life into the relationship. But today, we are talking about something many people struggle to admit. When is enough finally enough? When do you stop fighting for a relationship and start fighting for yourself? Let's talk about it. Love is not supposed to destroy you. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves in toxic relationship is, love is hard. Yes, love takes work. Yes, every relationship has challenges. But there is a difference between difficult season and a toxic pattern. A healthy relationship may have disagreements. A toxic relationship leaves you emotionally drained. A healthy relationship helps you grow. A toxic relationship slowly destroys your confidence. If loving someone constantly leaves you anxious, broken, confused, and emotionally exhausted, that's not what love was meant to feel like. When you no longer recognize yourself, one of the clearest signs that enough is enough is when you start losing yourself. You used to love more, you used to dream more, you used to feel confidence, but now you second guess everything you say. You walk on eggshells. You feel like you are constantly trying to avoid conflicts. The person you are before the relationship seems like a stranger, and that's heartbreaking because the longer you stay in a toxic environment, the more you begin to forget who you really are. When the pain becomes the normal, this is where many people get stuck. The insult becomes normal, the disrespect becomes normal, the manipulation becomes normal, the disappointment becomes normal. You stop expecting kindness because you've learned to survive on crumbs. And one day you realize you've been tolerating things that you would never advise your best friend to tolerate. If you tell your daughter, sister, or best friend to leave, why are you convincing yourself to stay? When you are the only one fighting, relationships require effort from both people, not one, both. If you are the only one apologizing, the only one compromising, the only one trying to fix things, the only one carrying the relationship, then you are not in a partnership. You are carrying abandon. A relationship cannot survive when only one person is trying to save it. Eventually, even the strongest person becomes tired. When promises replace change, one of the most painful cycles in toxic relationship is this. They hurt you, they apologize, they promise to change, you forgive them. Then the same thing happens again and again and again. At the same point, you must stop listening to promises and start paying attention to patterns. Real change isn't spoken, it's demonstrated. A promise without action is simply a delay, and many people waste years waiting for a future that never comes. When staying hurt more than living is scary. Nobody talks enough about that. Living means uncertainty. Living means grieving the future you hope for. Living means letting go of someone you may still love. But there comes a moment when staying becomes even more painful than living. When every day feels heavy, when your peace is gone, when your self-worth is disappearing, when your happiness depends on whether someone decided to treat you well that day, that's not living, that's surviving, and you deserve more than survival. Truly many people run too late. Many people run too late. The hardest lesson is this: love alone is not enough. You can love someone deeply and still need to live, because relationships need more than one. They need respect, trust, kindness, safety, effort, consistency. Without these things, love slowly becomes pain, and no amount of love can heal someone who refuses to change. If you've been asking yourself whether enough is enough, listen carefully. Sometimes the answer isn't found in one big event. Sometimes it is found in the 100 small moments that have been breaking your heart for years. The disrespect, the manipulation, the tears, the sleepless night, the feeling that you are becoming a stranger to yourself. You do not have to stay somewhere that is causing you your peace. You do not have to keep proving your worth to someone who refuses to see it. And remember this: leaving a toxic relationship isn't giving up a love. Sometimes it is choosing to love yourself enough to walk away, because the right relationship won't require you to lose yourself in order to keep you. If this message touches you, leave a comment below. What's the biggest lesson you've learned about toxic relationship? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs this reminder today.